What's up people? In today's video I'm playing my first 8 here of the season and the real intro got deleted, so this is what I'm doing now. But my little brother is following along, so join us on our road trip to Västervik where we're playing the Swedish Disc Golf Pro Tour Västervik Open. Peace. Quick stop, you can see the basket, you know where we are. I need redemption. Let's try to take the course record. Hello! Quick check-in after the first front 9. I'm -4, playing really bad. You are -1? +1. +1, oh yeah, you got a double bogey. So not off to a great start. But we can still get it on the back 9. -7 on the back. Let's go. Hello William.
Hello.
You stepped up. You're playing good now. What are
CTP?
Yes, CTP. 2 berries. Well, I throw berry X. What are you at? -2, that's great. And with this tap in, I'm at -9 with 2 holes left. So I can still do it. Last hole is difficult though, but I'll do it.
Not for you.
No, it's okay. I'll do it.
I got a really nice birdie on hole 17, so we're -10 right now. So if I birdie here, I break the course record.
What was that?
I lost my balance. I can go for a roller from there. I can still save it.
You're at -2 right now, right?
Yeah.
And your goal was -3, so get a birdie here.
Yeah.
Come back. You're over by me. But better.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Alright, utterly shit tee shot. The basket is behind here and I have to throw over here. Let's try to save it somehow. Do I go roller or just sky and maybe sky and?
Sky Annie.
I have no idea.
No, it's fading out.
That was wide.
Yeah. More Annie and that was amazing. Good try. You can still throw it in.
Yeah.
And -2 is still great.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Alright, not as good as I hoped it was, but it's still a chance. So we need to go for it. Like 28 maybe. Not even a good try. But I still have a tap in 4-8 high for the course record, so I'm still on the top. Let's say that it counts.
No. Still under par. And I have this for -10. Yay, tied for course record. Woohoo, yeah. And this guy, -1. Woohoo, yeah. We're so happy, look at us. Remember to get my merch on pug.se. Check out bouncebackdiscgolf.com to get towels, patches and pins. Code KKDG for 15% off. Head over to Rocket Discs. Use my personal code KevinK5 for 5% off. It's not much, but it's something. And you're helping me out, so win-win.
Needed some energy.
Very good.
Very good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Quick room tour. And that's it. See you next time. Bye-bye. I didn't know that we had to go outside to get to the restrooms though. That's kind of annoying, but otherwise good enough. Time to talk game plan. By the way, look at my new shirt. First time using it. Here, rock discs. Yeah, buddy. We played the course yesterday. 1 practice round. That's all I get. It feels good. I feel like the course kind of suits me, even though it's a really difficult course. Because it's a lot of hyzer flips or pushing hyzers that you can't have to flip up. No like stock hyzer shots, I feel like. And a lot of tight fairways with really rough. So I just try to keep it in the fairway. So yeah, I feel like this is a difficult course for all players, but you don't need like elite distance to score well. You just need to stay in the fairway, and that's what I'm good at. I'm good at hitting gaps, I'm good at angle control, and I'm good at playing smart. So that's what I feel like I will do. I went -4 in the practice round, which I don't know what it would be rated, but I think definitely above 1,000. There's a lot of Finnish players here. Hjalte Jensen is here, and of course all the best Swedish players. Rough competition, but that's what I want. I want to win over the best. And funny story, when we booked this Airbnb, I don't think there was the best information on the site. It says that it's 2 rooms with 4 beds, but this is 1 room with 2 beds. And it said that it's a shared bathroom. You would think that it's with other guests, but no, it's with the guys owning the place. So when I went on the toilet yesterday, thankfully I was sitting down while doing number 1, but the owner just unlocked the toilet from the outside and went in when I was there. I don't know what she was doing. It only looks from inside the house, not from inside the bathroom. She just unlocked and went in. Oh my god, I'm sorry. But let's go over all the holes while eating breakfast. I'm sorry. Hole 1, pretty easy starting hole. Kind of a quadruple mando. So you have to go through the frame, and then it's a soft forehand hyzer down to the right. I think I'm going Thunderbird forehand. The distance is kind of desperate for my A5 that I put in the bag. I don't really trust my jam yet. Don't get the cleanest release on it, so I put down an A5. Hole 2 is just a really straight 80-meter tunnel shot. And there I think I'm just going straight Rieko. Just commit to the line, push it straight. Slight hyzer out the hand and just go straight. And hole 3, that's a difficult hole, man. Par 5, 320 meters, I think. And the fairway is so tight the entire way. So I think I'm playing for par there and just trying to stay in the fairway with slow discs. So I'm probably going like Kaksesata, then maybe something faster to try to get up there. But I'm happy with the par there. I think I took 7 yesterday. And I realized yesterday when I played hole 3 that the left side is really rough. And if you fade out to the left side, you basically can't throw anything into the fairway and push forward. So being right is better. So that's the mistake to make. Then hole 4, par 4, up the hill, not too long, but it plays really difficult. The first shot, you basically have to push it almost out towards the OB on the right side to have an angle to the basket on your second shot. That's a really difficult hole because you have to push it so far to be able to see the basket and not having to go through the woods on the left side. Then hole 5, tight tee shot, easier approach if you land towards the right side. I think I'm going Guld and trying to force it over towards the right side. Then an approach from there, take it as it comes, see where you are. Hole 6, which I got a birdie on yesterday, 107 meters, pretty straightforward. Either going Guld or Shrike, just to make sure I get it up there. I could probably reach it with like Kaksesata or Lutz, Falk, something like that, but I think it's safer to just push a fast disc up there because you have kind of a backstop as well. Then we have hole 7, that's the par 5, right? Yeah. Similar tee shot to hole 5, but instead of pushing right, you want to push left. Throwing some type of Guld, flat, push it far straight and then fade left. Then it's kind of a tricky angle from there because you have OB entire right side, but you need to push it in towards the right side to have an easier approach. So I might actually go roller second shot just to make sure I get it past the part of the OB that sticks out into the fairway. I did it yesterday and I just cleared it with the roller, so could be the play. And from there it's kind of a tunnel shot. And it plays a lot further than you think because there's like a hill before the basket and the basket is behind the hill, but it looks like it's on the hill. Hole 8 is pretty much a must get. Just to be sure to get it up there, I think I'm going Guld, but I kind of parked it yesterday with a Thunderbird, so not really sure what to throw there yet. I think I'll just feel it out in the moment. Just hit the gap with a forehand and it's straighter than you think. I faded out early with like 2 tee shots that I thought were good, so yeah, push it straight to the I think. Then we have hole 9, which is a par 4, but it's a really position dependent par 4. Because if you don't get a good tee shot, you can't go for the island. Then you basically just have to lay up. I got the birdie yesterday, so if I just can throw like 100, 110 meters from the tee, I should have the hyzer route to the basket. But if I'm not in good position, I'm laying up for the par. Then hole 10, 138 meter par 3. A little bit too long for me. Ville got the birdie yesterday though, but he throws far. But I threw almost a perfect shot and I was still like 13 meters short. That's like 125. Kind of a tricky green though. Pin is like on top of a hill, so kind of a risky long putt to go for.
I missed his putt, but he made a birdie.
Easy birdie.
Easy birdie. 138. Easy for him.
Then hole 11, we have another par 4. And initially when I walked up there, I was like, oh, this is like a Guld or a Shrike. Just push it up there, get an easy approach. But I think it's smarter to just throw my Kaksesata, lay it up in the middle. I should have like a batty forehand approach anyways, because the hole is so short. The important part is to just keep it in the fairway there as well. Then we have hole 12, which is a 66 meter par 3. island hole. There I'm just going back forehand. Should be pretty straightforward. Also a must get. Then we have another par 4. You need a pretty long tee shot to go for the birdie. Yesterday I didn't commit to my tee shot, so I was really short. But if I commit to the tee shot, I should have like 110 to the basket. Probably good. Hole 14, really difficult par 4. Well, not really difficult, but kind of difficult. The tee shot is slightly uphill and you need to push it a lot straighter than you think. If you look at the tee sign, you think it's like a pushing hyzer. You should just draw a 100 meters straight shot, basically. So if you can do that, you should have a pretty straightforward approach. Then I think we reached a slightly easier stretch of the course here. Hole 15, 100 meter par 3. Kind of a tight and tricky line, but sets up pretty perfectly for my Falk or Stig hyzer flip backhand. I think this is a hole people will struggle with a lot, but it suits me really well because I like that steep hyzer flip up. I can definitely reach it with the Stig. Yesterday I threw it too low though, so I was in C2, but the Falk went past the basket, so we'll see. Then hole 16, this also is a must get. I almost aced it yesterday, got a splash out for the ace. But I'm not going with the backhand hyzer play. I'm just standing on the furthest left side of the tee pad and throwing my straight batty forehand straight down the hill, and that should be a birdie every time. Then hole 17, really nice hole actually. I really like this one.
Good luck.
Views for the views.
The views for the views. Oops. Rock kick.
And I threw 3 kind of mediocre tee shots yesterday, but all of them kind of worked its way down to the green, so I had a putt from every single shot. I can throw basically anything, I just need to commit to the line, but I think I'm either going Göte, or I think what's most likely that I will do in the moment is the Kaxesata. Just really hard, low and straight, basically throw it into the ground, then I should have a birdie putt every time. Then hole 18, kind of a tough finishing hole. Tee shot, pretty basic, straight to hyzer or pushing hyzer, just to lay it up in front of the gap. And from there, tight tunnel and specific landing zone. If you just throw a roller like I did yesterday.
Åh, det är så jävla bra kast.
What did I just do? That was amazing.
This roller right here might be one of the best shots I've ever made. That was insane.
Like I said, probably one of the best shots I've ever thrown. That was amazing. But yeah, that should be kind of a throw and see where you land, play it from there kind of hole. Yeah, that's the game plan. I feel like if we can just avoid big numbers on the really difficult and long par 5s, we should be able to stay in the top, probably. So that's my plan. Let's see how it works out. And now I really have to go poop, but I don't want to go use the toilet because I'm afraid she will walk in on me. Good times.
Hej! Vad mysigt ni har det då.
Tja!
Tja! Jäklans!
Eller säger man välkommen?
This doesn't make sense. It says Ica Maxi on your back, but we're at Willys. So we got some food for tonight and breakfast and other stuff. Let's go. Hey, that's a nice car. Wow. I wonder whose car this is.
Whew. Whew. Looking good.
Looking very good.
What do we say in America? Bone apple teeth? Is it good?
Very good.
Very good. I'm gonna taste too. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Ser good.
Chef was pretty mean though. 7 out of 10.
Early the next morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Little tired, huh? Having some breakfast, and this is the most important part. Don't forget the boy, guys. Don't forget it. So good. 4 av 5 meloner. Supertrendigt. Alright, we just walked into this random toy store and we saw this. What the actual heck? And it doesn't end there. They have so much. And all of this. Plast. They even have 10-year baddies. Tour series. Like what? We're gonna buy this thing. Looks like fun. And then I found a guld with the lowest parting line I've ever seen. And then I found a yarn that is so flat. And it's K1 soft, so really soft. And what did you find?
Kaxiseta.
And a 10-year berry. Nice.
It was real nice.
Yeah, this is insane though. And it said that they have baskets as well. And we forgot the basket, so we might buy one. Let's see what we find. And then we were thinking about buying some games so we can play at our room.
Yeah.
What is this place?
Easy choice.
Where are we? In the middle of Västervik, a really small town. What the heck? Only clips from this table. That's all I record. But he made some meatballs and I'm having leftovers from yesterday. And we might have gone a little bit overboard. We were just supposed to buy a game. We bought 4 discs, 1 game, 1 basket, and this little toy over here. But you wanted a basket, so
Yeah, I want.
it's good.
Very nice.
And it's a skill basket.
That's good for my putt.
Yeah, we need to practice. 4 av 5 miljoner.
Ja.
Supertrendigt! There we go. Now we have a basket. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright, I think I'm ready to talk about the first round. Obviously, I was kind of nervous. First real round in a big tournament this year, so kind of shaky. But first hole, really close to hitting the frame, but kind of parked it. So nice to start off the season with a tap-in birdie. But then on hole 2, in my backhand form, I was thinking too much about getting tight into the power pocket to get that effortless distance, and I feel like this was kind of a problem the entire day. But on the tee shot, as you can see, I late released it, hit kind of first available and kicked right, so not a great position there. Tried to save it from there, but the angle was really weird. Went out into the rough, then tried to spin putt it up to the basket, kind of hit some roots and trickled down to the left side. The only tree in the way, just perfectly in front of the basket, so didn't have a normal putt. Had to do like a really wide straddle and just lean on my left foot, so really weird stance, and I missed that as well, so got a double bogey. Really unfortunate start, but still just trying to forget it. +1 through 2, then I came up to hole 3, which I'm playing for par, just try to play it really safe, but I did the exact same thing on the tee shot. Late release, hit the right tree, this time I kicked left though, but left side is a lot rougher than the right side on this hole. And from there, basically had nothing, tried to go for a forehand, hit my hand on a little branch on its way out, so, and then just kind of scrambled through the entire hole, and I got a double bogey there as well. One really nice shot with a forehand, which saved the double bogey, but yeah, really tough hole. So there I was +3 through 3, horrible start, and that kind of got into my mind on hole 4, and I did the exact same thing again, late released my backhand tee shot. From there I didn't have a single lie that was like a normal lie, because from the tee shot where I landed I kind of had to stand like a standstill with stuff in the way, and really leaned back, so kind of didn't have balance in my stance, so yanked that one as well outright. And from there this little tree just behind my lie, I couldn't stand normally, so I had to do like a really wide patent pending forehand kind of, and I went with a K3 Göte to try to get that flip and drift to the left. And I had to push it really close to the tree on the right, but I put it too close, so I hit it. And from there I tried to get my approach up with the Barry X, but it got slammed by the wind, so I went too short. Outside C1, went for the putt. He got a lift and just scooted off the top of the basket. And then I had a weird stance from there and missed that putt, so it was a 7 on a par 4. And then I was +6 through 4 holes. Nightmare start. That was so annoying and just really set me back mentally. and I also hurt my hand while receiving the disc from the basket. I was mad, just yanked it out of there and I hit my hand. Small mark here. Doesn't look too bad now, but it was aching so much. Felt like something was broken or something. Next hole, played it pretty nice. The tee shot was way too low though, kind of lost my balance on the tee shot. So it was really short, but from there, just a really nice shot. Up to C1 and made the putt. That was a nice birdie. Hole after that should be a pretty easy hole, but I kind of overturned it because of the headwind. So I had a pretty long C2 putt, and that faded in front of the chains and then made my comebacker. And that was a par, first par of the round. Then we come to hole 7, which is another par 5. And yeah, same mistake again on my backhand. Trying to get tight into the power pocket and late released it again. Went OB and really weird stance there. I wanted to throw a backhand to get out to the left side, but I couldn't get a real run up because I was too close to the slanted, to the ditch basically. So I had to go with a standstill forehand and I didn't give it enough ante, so I went out right. And that was probably the worst lie I've had in quite a while. I just had to pitch out from there. I threw a backhand and in my run-up, something bit my leg. So I just released the disc and then I looked down to my leg and I didn't know where the disc was. But I went way too far left and from there I had to go with a forehand flex. Faded out early, had a C2 putt, just missed that one and tap in for a 8. That's an 8. Triple bogey. I felt like at that point, strokes didn't matter. That's how bad I played. Didn't matter if I got a par or a double bogey, because anyway, it was a shit round. Tried to come back from there. Next hole, the par 3, forehand tee shot. And I was just thinking about what I said the day before, that it's a lot straighter than you think it is, so you don't really want to fade. If you just push a straight shot into there, you will have a putt. But I kind of flipped it up into the headwind, so I went too straight. But I think I made my C2 putt, right? Yeah, so I figured out the birdie. So that was nice. And then hole 9, really good line on the tee shot, but I threw it way too low, so I didn't get enough distance to go for the island on the second shot. So I had to just pitch a mid-range around the corner to set myself up for an easy par. The putt was kind of scary though, into the headwind. Really strong headwind and like a 5-meter putt. Should be a gimme, but into the headwind, that's scary for me. Then the long par 3, decent shot, got stuck in some bush, just a spin putt layup from there. And it's really important to put it close on this hole because you don't want to putt on this green. It's really scary. So thankfully I put it really close and had a tap in. And then the par 4, great tee shot, a bit too low again. I feel like I threw a lot of tee shots, or a lot of shots in general, way too low. But really nice angle. Was kind of in between disc from there. It was, I think, 82 meters left, kind of uphill, and I was like in between mid-range and Kaxasata, but I chose to go with the Göte, which was a bad decision because the wind really slowed the disc down, so it was really short. Almost made a long putt though. I feel like I had a lot of those, like long putts that almost went in, but just missed it. That's a par. That hole should be a birdie. Then it's the island hole. My game plan was to go with the straight Barry forehand, but there was a really strong headwind, so I don't even think I could reach it with my forehand with the Barry. So I went with the backhand instead, but it worked out. Got the birdie, and my cardmates were really struggling on that hole. I got a 2, and I think the others got like 5, 6, 6. Yeah. So I'm happy I made the island. Then off the tee on the next hole, the par 4. Really strong headwind again, but I trusted my disc, held it out wide left and drifted into the fairway. Really nice angle, but again, too low. So I had a really long approach, I think like 120 left to the basket. And then I thought it would flip the same way again, but because the approach is a little bit more guarded from the wind, it didn't really flip as much as I thought, so faded out left, and from there had a really weird angle, but I tried to like spin putt skip it in. I had to go really tight to this tree and just nick the tree, but still made the putt, so it's okay. And then the next hole, I don't even know what happened. We had to wait for a really long time. I was ready to throw at one point, but my cardmates were like, no, wait for them to get to the next hole, so you don't throw towards them. I was really ready to go, and then I kind of slowed down and became cold. And it's not their fault. Like,
It was just me mentally losing my headspace there. Because I feel like I was on a quite good streak, but then I late released my tee shot again. Hit the tree, went into the middle, really weird stance, went from there too low again, almost fell when I threw that shot, and from there really weird lie, went for the forehand, just threw it around the corner. That was 3 shots. Then my approach 4, saved the bogey with a nice C2 putt, but still so mad. That shouldn't be. I don't understand how I got a bogey with a C2 putt. That's so bad. And then the next hole, the hole that suits me so well, and I late release it again. There were so many late releases with my backhand just because I was thinking about getting tight into the power pocket. Why did I do that? When you're in a tournament, you shouldn't have to think. You should just play. And when you practice, you think to make your not thinking throws be better. But I was thinking the entire time. That's so stupid. So yeah, scrambling from there, got into C2. Missed that one, got another bogey, and then kind of the air went out of me. Then the short downhill, par 3, really nice tee shot, was into the headwind, so I threw it a bit softer than usual and was just really focusing on getting a clean release, just to make sure that I didn't like flip it over and go into the rough on the left side, because you don't want to be there, which made me end up a little bit shorter than I wanted. And then I had a headwind putt, and just overthinking that, trying to be smooth, and yeah, a little bit nose down into the headwind, so it dropped, went too low, really bad putt, still a par. And then the hole after that, I did the same thing as in my practice round with the Kaxasata, threw it so low, and this time into a headwind, so it was like pushing it down the entire way, but I got the same skip as last time. This time it went towards the right side instead of the left side though, so I had a really obstructed C2 putt. Almost made it though, again. So many of those, but yeah, tap in par there. And then hole 18, at this point I was +8 I think, which is just demoralizing. I can't even believe how I ended up at this point, like, yeah, so annoying. But that was almost, I think, the strongest headwind I've ever thrown into, one of, at least. So I threw my really overstable Halo Destroyer on a hyzer, was just making sure to get it in the fairway. Threw it a bit too wide and a bit too short though. Thought I would get the skip on the road, but it faded in front of it, so just got stuck in the grass. And from there I actually went with the Falk roller. Looked so great out of my hand, and I thought it would flip more because of the headwind, but it was kind of a right to left headwind. So when I got the disc on Annie, instead of flipping over and standing up straight, it was like pushing down the entire way. So the roller kind of cut left instead of going into the fairway and landed in no man's land. I had nothing. I definitely went over the 30-second rule there, because I was standing there and was like, I have nothing. I was looking everywhere, looking for a gap, and yeah, there was nothing. And I'm pretty creative when it comes to things like that, and like finding a gap, finding a way out. But there was no way. There was nothing. So I just picked up the Falk, threw it on a forehand, tried to like turn it into something, but I hit something and just landed in the middle, I think. And from there I threw the Halo Destroyer again, but on a forehand. Tried to get it up there to save my par at least. But there was a really strong headwind again, so I thought like I could get it to go straight and then hyzer, but that Halo Destroyer is so overstable. I need to trust that even though it's a headwind. So yeah, went out early and went into C2 right of the basket. Tried to go for that one because I had some trees right in front of the basket, but if I went wide and just let the wind push it into the basket, there was a chance to make it. But I threw it a bit too high, so the wind just pushed it really far. And still made a comebacker though, but yeah, ended with a bogey and +9 total. So yeah, and I was like, par on this course should be like 990, so I went 9 strokes worse. It should be around 900, maybe 910 because of the conditions in rating, but it was still 952 for +9, which is almost my PGA rating, so it's what I should shoot. Basically, that's almost what I did, I guess. So after realizing that, didn't feel as bad because everyone was struggling, but yeah, +9. What we can take from this though is the backhand late release. We need to fix that. Alright, we're here at Jenny disc golf bana. I need to let off some steam, so let's play and have fun. Yeah. I'm mad. I think that's in the rough. I don't remember how this hole looks. Easy tap in eagle. I'm just kidding, by the way. I didn't show you my upshot. It's a birdie. Up! Snorre! That means penis in Swedish. Of course, William is going fuse for the views. Yeah, buddy. That's OB, brother. Fyra, 5 miljoner. Supertrendigt. Bäh! Ja, ju! Yeah. Ah. That was probably going in. I like the line very much, but I hit a tree. Now I'm sad. Nej! Ja, för birdie på typ svåraste hålet på banan. Nej! Man är konsistent i alla fall. That was boring. Why did I not give it a chance? Again. That was boring. Why did I not give it a chance? When we went to the toy store, I bought this one. And holy shit, finally, a yarn I can use for my forehands. It's so flat. Look at this. Almost puddle top. That's amazing. And really overstable, as you can see. Last one to prove it's not luck. 4 times or it's luck. Go in. What? I thought that was perfect. Must have been behind the basket. It's not luck. Kaxizeta. Nice flight.
Thank you.
Easy peasy. Keep it low, keep it low, keep it low, low, low. That's what I told myself. That was too low. Sit. Sit. So long. Mom, I told him not to do this. He insisted. I luften. Finishing the round with a tap-in. For -6. Very good, very nice. And by the way, this is a game changer. For real. What the actual heck? It's a K1 soft yarn. Look at how flat it is. So nice. Sup?
What's up?
We're practicing for MasterChef Swedish edition 2026.
Absolutely.
This is what you need. Don't use matlagningsgrädde, use wispgrädde. Wisp.
Wispy.
Do the wisp grade. Yeah, then it becomes better. Yes, very good. Very good, many thank you. Yes, wispgrädde. That's good, that's good. This gonna be some good shit, you know.
Good shit.
And if you want to follow our recipe, it's minced meat. This is spaghetti, passerade tomater, crème fraîche med paprika chili, även krossade chilitomater, and the wisp grade. And don't forget this chili pepper. Now that's some good shit. Yeah, buddy. Oh, look, a basket! We're playing Ubongo, and I'm completely destroying this game. Yes. I am. We played 8 rounds and I won 7, so let's see which one. The elephant, or as you like to call it, the giraffe.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes. very
Last
much.
round. I think I've already won, but...
No.
Ready, set, go. Boom. You bongo! Finally I'm better at something than my little brother. Yes. Oh, you're out of time! Oh no, that's the first time.
I don't know how to do it.
Do you want help from an expert maybe?
Who's that?
It's not me! Sorry.
Oh. No.
You?
There we are.
It's a new day, new conditions on the course, and we're gonna play better today. It's difficult to play worse. But I feel like if there are holes that we need to think about, it's hole 3, 4, 7 and 18. And 13 because of how it went, but it shouldn't be difficult. Like if you have a bad tee shot, you should always be able to save par. But I was just in a really bad spot 3 times in a row. So yeah, 3, 4, 7 and 18. Let's play those for par. 18, if I get a really good tee shot, I can still play for the birdie, but we're gonna be happy with par on these holes. And hole 2, like, what am I doing? Shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, we need to eat now, and then we're going off to the course. Get a good warm-up. That's round 1. Let's head off to round 2. And I'm sorry that I sound a bit weird, but the pollen, man. I'm so allergic to everything. That's why I sound like this.
8 hours later.
Alright, round 2 done. Let's talk about it. Hole 1, walked up and there was no wind, so I was thinking about throwing the Jan instead of Thunderbird or Stall, but I was quite nervous, and for my warm-up I only threw into a net, so I hadn't seen a forehand fly, so I didn't know how clean my release was at the time, so I went with the Thunderbird anyways.
Järva discgolfpark och han heter Kevin Klangebo.
And it was pretty wobbly, so that was a good choice. Still ended up a bit short, had a C2 putt for the birdie, and I was really shaky then. I don't even know why. I was like really nervous. Missed it really low, didn't even hit the cage. But then hole 2, like I said, no wind this time. Well, basically no wind compared to the day before. And I thought to myself that it might be easier to hit the gap if I throw with more hyzer, because then I can like flip it up into the gap instead of having to throw a straight shot the entire way. So I went with my beating K3 Reko, which worked out really well. Unfortunately I got like a really bad reaction off the ground, so I skipped off some roots and went off to the left side. So I had a tester putt on the left side, then the wind was kind of coming through the woods, so I had like a right to left headwind, which kind of took a hold of the disc more than I thought, so I missed my C1 putt. So par start, hole 2, 2 strokes better than yesterday, so I'm happy I hit the gap. Doesn't really matter. But then hole 3, great tee shot, perfectly in the middle. Second shot, kind of had a weird run up, so I threw it way too low, but thankfully I got a good skip that kind of put it in the fairway. And from there I wanted to go with a forehand flex, just follow the fairway the entire way and maybe push myself up for a long jump putt, look for the birdie. But my guld didn't really flip as much as I thought, and I threw it a bit too much nose up, I guess. So I didn't really turn it into the fairway and faded out, hit a tree, landed in a rough, horrible positioning. And from there I had a pretty small gap, but I was pretty confident I was gonna hit it. So I took my most overstable guld and threw it on a slight Annie. But I hit the last thing in the way to get out of the gap, so that was unfortunate. But from there, probably one of the best shots in the tournament so far with the Stig. Really nice shot, just a really tight hyzer forehand approach that I had to kind of like flip up to get it up to the basket, which I did perfectly. So landed like 4 meters from the basket, made a putt. Hole 4, oh man, I hate hole 4. Pulled it so bad, wasn't even close to hitting the gap. And from there I went with a forehand just to try to get it up to the corner, which I did pretty well. Faded out a bit too much maybe, so I was really close to the OB wall, but it's okay to be there. And from there I wanted to go with my batty forehand approach, and I hit first available, it slipped out of my hand. Because I was standing there like contemplating which side I was going to stand on, what the disc I wanted to throw, what line I wanted to take, so I thought I was taking a bit too long, so then I just rushed my shot and I early released it. So that was really annoying. But from there, I had a really bad stance, really bad lie with like branches in my swing, but I was just
committed to just push it through. So I hit my hand through all the stuff, but I got it up there and saved the bogey, +2 through 4. And yesterday I was +6 through 4, so that's much better, but I'm still over par, so yeah. But those holes are pretty rough. So hole 5, really bad tee shot, like, oh my god, why did I throw it so high and with too much hyzer? Just faded out, went OB. Did the same thing again with my good forehand from there. Didn't turn it enough. Thankfully I got a kick out to the fairway, so it was okay. From there, pretty nice approach, straightforward, and then saved the bogey again, so 3 bogeys in a row. Then hole 6, which should be a must get, like it's pretty easy. And I got it up there, was in C2, had really weird footing though. I was scared of jumping forward because I had a root or like a stump from a tree sticking out, so I was gonna land on that if I jumped properly. So I kind of whiffed it and had a comebacker, which I thought I made. There was branches in the way and I went over this branch, which I had to do to get it in, or I could like go on a knee and spin it, but that's not my style. And I threw it perfectly, but there was this tiny little branch over that branch that I didn't even see. It was so small, like I don't even think you can see it in the camera. I'll zoom in on it and I don't think you can see it, which like redirected the disc with nose down, so I hit the cage. So I 3-putted and I got a bogey there as well. Birdogie, classic. And then hole 7, tee shot, decent this time. I think I air bounced it like crazy, but I was just mad, so I was just running up there and throwing it. Unfortunately landed in the little water creek, but that's casual, so I just took it back from there. And from there I tried to go with this big Annie shot around the tree. But again, like, I feel like everywhere on this course, like the ground is really uneven. So again, my foot went down into like a small little ditch before the disc. So yeah, I yanked the shot, hit the branches, and I don't even know how that is possible, but I went OB right, which was crazy. And from there, kind of didn't even know what I wanted to do, but I threw the gold, went a bit too straight. I wanted to turn it into the gap, but it kind of just went straight on me. From there, really good scramble, like I pretty much had nothing, but there was this gap just outside of the fairway, which was like perfectly set up for my Jan forehand. So I went with that and it worked out perfectly. Tap in bogey. So that's 5 bogeys in a row. Yeah. Not the way you want to start out the round. But I feel like through all these first 7 holes, I was a bit timid. Like I didn't 100% commit to my shots, and this is a course you have to commit 100% to every single shot. If you commit to 95%, you're gonna find bad stuff. You need to commit 100% every single shot. So that's what I started to do. On hole 8, got a nice birdie, nice putt. Had to straddle out really wide and just kind of spin it in, which I made. So that was nice. And the hole after that, that's a great birdie. Played the hole to perfection. That's just exactly how you want to play it. Really straight tee shot and a hyzer from there. And made my putt, so yeah, that was a great birdie. And I almost got the birdie after that as well. Perfect tee shot, still like 20 meters short, but it's a really long hole. I think it says 138, but I think it's actually 142. And I was probably inside C2, so let's say I threw it like 125. I said to Ville, like when I was walking up, I'm just laying it up. There's no way I'm putting on this green. But then from the angle I realized that where the basket is, there's like a flat area on top of the hill, which I was fading towards if I was going for this putt. So I was like, let's run it, doesn't matter. And I ran it, almost made it, shined out left side, so that was close. Still a tap in par. And then the hole after that, we had to wait for a while. So I was pretty cold for my tee shot, and I early released it out left, and I was really scared that was gonna be like a lost disc and had to re-tee and get like a double bogey or something. But it actually had a double kick, I think, because I saw it kick out really far left, but then it was almost in the fairway again, so I guess it kicked back. And from there I had a small gap, but I could still commit through it, so I went with the Falk. Didn't really flip it as much as I wanted, but was still inside C1 for a birdie. And I was almost ready to take like a double bogey on that hole, so a lot better than I thought. But I landed in this like one spot where you can't land because you have to putt under this huge tree that's in front of the basket, and that's not a putt that suits me because you really have to spin it through. Hit the tree, tap in par. Then the island hole. I walked up, checked the wind. It was left to right headwind, so I was like, okay, I can't really go for my forehand in this headwind. let's go with the backhand again, do the same thing with the Berry-X. And I threw it towards the right side, because there was a left to right headwind, but the disc lifted and went out left. I don't understand why it did that, but I landed in C2 in the hazard, so had a C2 putt to try to save the par, which I made, thankfully. Was pretty confident on that putt though, so I knew that was going in. Then the next tee shot, kind of turned it over a bit too much. Just a hyzer layup from there, and then a Berry approach. Pretty easy par. Really unfortunate positioning on the first shot though, because I was behind the only thing that you can land behind in the fairway. Hole 14, which I got a bogey on yesterday, so I was just committed to hit the gap. That was my number one goal. And I did that, went for the long approach through the rough on the left side. Got it pretty long up there, so had a long look for the birdie and went with the putt, bit short, but still a tap-in par. And then the hole after that, the hole that I choked on the day before, I went with the Falk the first day, but today I was, I felt like I was in the groove of things, so I thought I could just commit to my Stig. So I went with the Stig, and second shot I threw with the Stig today, and those two shots were the best shots of the day. So Stig is the MVP of this round. That was a perfect shot, almost parked it for the birdie. Hole after that, Berry, downhill, should be a gimme, and I got it, thankfully. And the hole after that, that was really unfortunate, because in the practice round and the first round of the tournament, I threw the Kaksasata too low, so I did that little skip thing, and I wanted to take that out of play, so I thought, let's put it in the air this time. But I put it too high, and didn't really flip it over to flat, so it kind of faded out at the end. Had a long C2 putt and was behind the only tree that could be in the way, and the branches hanging out were perfectly in the way, so I had to go with more like a spinny, stabby putt than my lofty, normal putt. So ended up a bit short. I had to settle for the par there. But then I was +1 through 17 holes, and I was +5 through 7. So I made a great comeback. I was -4 through hole 8 to 17, so that's really good. But then hole 18, we had that crazy headwind again, not as much as the day before, so I went with my Guld instead of the Halo Destroyer, and I thought it was perfect, but at the end it didn't really carry left, it just dropped because of the wind, so I didn't make it in front of the gap, so I had to go with my Falk roller once again. But I landed in this one spot in the grass where there's a ditch, so I couldn't go with a run-up. I think you can see in the video where I stand there just looking for a footing, but I can't find it. So I had to go standstill Falk roller, and I janked it right because of my footing. And from there, it was just scramble town. Stig again, great shot. Unfortunately carried a bit too much to the right side. I did kind of what I wanted to do, because I wanted to put it out right to open up the gap, but I was a bit too far right. Then I wanted to go with the hero shot, try to go with the Halo Star Destroyer on a big forehand flex. It was like 120 left, but if I just got the angle right, it was set up perfectly for it. So I just committed, put it really hard, but I didn't give it height, so I threw it into the ground, which was really unfortunate. And from there I went up and looked at the gap, and I saw that I wanted to like push it really far right, because there was 2 trees in front of the basket at the end of the tunnel, I guess. So I wanted to swing it like really far from left into right. So I went with my overstable yarn and put it on a lot of anhyzer. The problem is, I realized afterwards I hadn't thrown that disc on a backhand anhyzer before, so I didn't know how much it was gonna fight out of it, and it was more overstable than I thought. But it was fine. I was gonna be in C2, try to save the bogey, and I felt my C2 putts were pretty good. But I was OB, and I didn't even know there was OB left on that hole. I thought there was only OB long and right of the basket. So yeah, so then I had a C2 putt to try to save the double bogey. And then I was annoyed at me being OB, so I think I overcommitted on the putt. I went over. Comebacker made the putt for the 8, so really unfortunate ending. I feel like I played really solid through hole 8 to 17. Just followed the game plan, didn't make mistakes, took my chances where I could. And I feel like I could have got a lot more birdies. There were a lot of holes that were close, but it's really unfortunate ending with that triple bogey. So I ended up at +4, which is a lot worse than +1. +1 would have been almost okay, especially with that start. 5 bogeys in a row. But yeah, ratings came in, and my +4 was actually worse rated than my +9 the day before, because the conditions were so much better and people were just destroying the course today. I think Hjalte Jensen went -10, which is crazy good. But yeah,
One more round and it's gonna be rainy. But we have nothing to lose, so we're just gonna go crazy today. See you there. Peace. Hello.
Hello.
Yummy.
The following day.
Kevin Klangebo.
Hello, my dear viewers. I'm recording this 2 weeks after the actual third round. Do you like my hat, by the way? I got it on bouncebackdiscgolf.com. Go get it. And use my code KKDG for 15% off. That's quite a lot. But I'm here today to talk about round 3. And before we actually get into it, I want to tell you about my mindset for the third round. Considering how bad round 1 went, I really needed a insanely good second round to even be able to play for something. And I played a decent second round for a stretch of holes. I think it was hole 8 to 17, where I went -4, but in total I went +4. So after those 2 rounds, I knew I had nothing to play for, which is really sad. It's not fun playing a tournament when you don't know why you're there. So my mindset for the third round was to just go crazy. And if I get off to a hot start, maybe I can go for like a really high rated round. But that's not what happened. Preparation for the round, we were gonna check out of our Airbnb, but we forgot to plan for actually cleaning the Airbnb because that wasn't included. And we almost forgot about all the food we had. So yeah, not the best planning. So we lost a lot of time and I got to the course 2 minutes before I had to be at T1. So I had no warm-up at all. I didn't throw a single shot. I didn't putt a single putt. I did nothing. I just arrived and I threw off the tee. Ran out of memory on my phone, so now I got the camera. But like I said, arrived to the tee, just threw, pulled it a bit left, was a bit low, but skipped up there, went a bit too far. Had a 7-meter comebacker behind the basket. But like I said, no warm-up, didn't putt a single putt, so I missed low. And that's what happens when you don't warm up your putt. Like, makes sense. You don't commit. Hole 2, great tee shot. A little bit too low and got slammed down by the wind. Still in the circle, same thing again. Tester putt, miss low. So already, better preparation. -2 through 2. Hole 3. Like I told you before, it's better to be right than left on this hole. So I slightly turned the tee shot over towards the right side, unfortunately hit a tree and I kick into the left side. So that's really unfortunate. From there, Thunderbird forehand, just try to get it over the hill into the fairway, again too low. And I get stuck behind this one tree that just destroys my angle and the possibility to throw an actual shot. So I just have to go really high with my stall, try to land somewhat in the fairway and fade out a bit too much, go towards the right side. From there, I have a really tight gap between these 2 trees. I can't go on either side of them if I want to get it up close to the basket. But from there, amazing shot. I had to go with a really flippy distance driver, so I threw my Grym. And I threw it pretty much perfectly, as well as I could have done it, basically. And got a lucky kick, so I had a chance to save my par on the most difficult hole on the course. But like I said, no warm-up, so I missed my C2 putt. This time I gave it a chance though. I missed high instead of low. So that's a bogey, +1 through 3. And that's 3 putts I would have made if I warmed up. So then I would have been -2 through 3 holes. But now I'm +1. Hole 4, so concentrated on just hitting the gap this time that I totally forgot about the angle. So I just threw it straight left into the woods. And from there, I was thinking about going for the basket. And like I said before, I'm pretty creative on scramble shots, but there wasn't anything there. So I just had to pitch out into the fairway, long jump putt approach, tap in par. It's fine. Hole 5. I was really mad about my shot on round 2. Too high, too much hyzer, faded out left, went OB. So this time I was like, just force it over, rather right than left. But the conditions, it was wet, I was cold, yeah. I pulled it too much, hit a tree, almost kicked out into the fairway again, but then kicked back in and went OB. From there, really great shot actually. Unfortunately, kind of scooted up the hill on the right side, so I had a really bad lie. Basically no run up and a small tree basically in my swing. So I threw my Reko and I shanked it up right. And at this point, I was in the rough after 4 shots. So at best, this was gonna be a double bogey, if I could get it up and down. And it was at this point that I realized maybe this isn't the amazingly rated round that I was hoping for. I didn't give myself the right preparations, so I only have myself to blame. So at this point I was like, now I actually have nothing to play for. My little brother William is following along, he's recording me. Let's give the people what they want, let's give them some highlights. So then I tried to throw this yarn in the basket for the bogey save, but a K1 soft disc in wet conditions, they get pretty grippy. So I grip locked it and threw it into the tree, kicked right, landed in horrible place. You can see there's nothing there. So just a layup and a putt for my 7 triple bogey. But let's move on, let's go for highlights, let's have fun. Because ratings doesn't matter. I've had a couple of these horribly rated rounds before, and I know that it's so bad that PDGA realizes this is not how you usually play. So let's not count this round towards your actual rating. I don't care about rating. I know how good I am. I don't need my rating to tell me how good I am, because I know what I can do. But the thing with ratings is the registration stages. So then it's a good thing that they don't count these awfully rated rounds that they realize is not what you usually shoot. So yeah, let's just go for highlights. Hole 6, hit a tree that I didn't even think you could hit. Like, how is that even in play? But from there I landed in this horrible spot between this rock and this tree, and my left foot up on another rock, so I was like leaned back and felt like I was gonna fall over this big rock. But like I said, I was going for highlights, so I was gonna try to throw this in. And I tried. Might not look like it, because I fell. Yanked it out into the woods, but yeah. And from in there, almost made a nice putt. Just missed it right off the chains, but tap in for bogey. And then we arrived to hole 7. And like I said, the conditions, wet, rainy, really windy, and so cold. You can see that I have my gloves on. I basically couldn't feel my fingers at this point. So yeah, tee shot, slipped out of my hand, OB left. From there, tried to get into the fairway with my new Poison Green Gold, into the headwind, perfect angle, wind drop, flipped over, into the rough, right side, horrible position. From there, tried to cross over the OB with a tomahawk, and then the wind switched from headwind to left to right. So when I threw the tomahawk, instead of going forwards and then panning right, because it's vertical and the wind coming from left to right, it just pushed it. So I hit this tree, went to OB again, and basically didn't advance up the fairway at all. So then I had to throw over the OB again, which I did with my stall, but it slipped out of my hand. So I went to OB again. It was just basically a rethrow from the same position, because I didn't cross inbounds anywhere. So I threw my overstable Gold, really safe, crossed inbounds, but somehow the wind pushed it back out of bounds again. So that's 4 out of bounds, and from there actually almost a really nice shot. Tried to go with a turnover flex shot with the Grym, but it was just too wide, so I hit some trees, got stuck there. Then it should be a really easy approach. I threw the Barry X pretty perfect, but somehow it rolled long, so I had a comebacker. Tried to calm myself down after this hole. I was not the happiest man alive, so calmed myself down, tried to make the putt, but I missed high, hit the band. Why does it matter? Tap in 13 plus 8 on a par 5. It happens so fast as well. When I went to OB the second time, I should have just laid up into the fairway, played for like a 7, but no, I was gonna go through that OB. So yeah, quadruple OB, octuple bogey. That's insane. Next hole, like I said, let's go for highlights. Picked up my most overstable Gold, let's go for the ace. Slips out of my hand, hit the tree, kick right. And it looks pretty basic there from the camera, but there's basically no angle. So I hit a tree, kick off left, but from there I can actually see the basket. So I'm like, let's go with the Thunderbird, throw it in. And then I was thinking about it slipping out of my hand on the tee shot. So I was like, let's grip this one. So that's what I did. I grip locked it. Hit a tree, kicked straight right into the rough, had nothing. I basically had to pitch backwards. But from there, let's try to throw it in. Went with the Barry, Almost threw it in actually. That was really close. But I went too far, missed my comebacker and got a 7. So that's a quadruple bogey following the octuple bogey. So that's plus 12 in 2 holes. That feels unreal to say. Plus 12 in 2 holes. Good times. Hole 9, par 4. Decent tee shot, didn't really flip as much as I thought, so was in the rough, unfortunately. Went with a tomahawk again, just to get out into the fairway, hit a 3, and from there I was like in between the spot to go for the backhand hyzer and the forehand approach, so I couldn't go for either. But if I just leaned out really far right, I could try to go for a forehand flex, which I did so great. But we didn't get it on camera. But I was so unfortunate because it skipped into the island green, into the headwind, stalled, came back down, rolled out into the hazard. It was an amazing shot, but yeah, C2 putt to save the bogey. I make it. Look how happy I am. You can see the big smile on my face. Move on to hole 10. Early release the tee shot, stuck in a bush, throw really weird patent pending shot from there. Land in C2. Think I made the C2 putt, but it drops in the tailwind, so tapping bogey. Hole 11, and I said in round 1, hole 18, one of the craziest headwinds I've thrown into. This also, one of the craziest headwinds I've thrown into. The crazy thing about it is that hole 18, it's really open, so there you can understand wind coming through, but here on hole 11 it's more guarded, but it was crazy headwind. So instead of going with my Caxasanta, I went with my Lutz, which is pretty overstable. I released it on a hyzer and it almost became a roller. Cut out into the fairway from there, threw the Lutz again, yanked it a bit too far right. I was really unbothered at this point. Like, I didn't care because of that PDGA rating rule where if it's so bad it doesn't count towards your rating. So the rating aspect was just completely out of it. I didn't care what happened. And at this point it was very clear that the only thing I had to play for was highlights. And this highlight was just framed up perfectly for me. So I told Ville, get the camera, this one is going in. This is gonna be so satisfying. Because look at how amazingly framed up the basket is in this tiny little gap. It's just perfect. It's made for a highlight throwing. So I went for it and it was so close, but I just missed it. Went too far, was in C2, missed that one, tapping bogey. Don't care. Hole after that, island green. It was like a right to left headwind, really strong actually. And like I said, I didn't care at this point, so I was gonna go for the ace. So I asked my card mates, forehand, backhand, what should I do? And I think it was Jeppe that told me to throw forehand. Jeppe is a team player also for Järva Disc Golf Park. So I threw the forehand and really nice wind read. Almost made it, but was just too short. Tapping birdie, don't care. Hole 13, and this would be a highlight for me personally, because hole 13 is a hole that doesn't suit me, because you need 2 accurate long distance shots after each other. I wanted to bite off some distance from the tee to make it easier, so I went with the roller. And like I said, we had a right to left headwind, and in a right to left wind, when you throw a backhand roller, it wants to push the disc down so it doesn't flip as much as it usually would. But the problem is it didn't push it down this way, it pushed it down this way. So it flipped over, it stood up too fast and just cut out right. Saved my par from there. Then hole 14, at this point I told Ville, because the camera was running out of battery, just record where there are potential highlights. Like, we don't need to see tee shots that is just a layup. It's not fun to watch. So just record the highlights. But I threw 2 okay shots. Had a long look for a birdie there. But I had this tree just where I wanted to stand with my left foot. So it was really obstructed and like I felt constricted, I guess. So I missed it just short. But let's move on to hole 15. Let's go for an ace. Crazy winds there as well. So I went with the Lutz instead of the Stig or Falk. And the wind just played with it. Pushed it left, hit a tree. Went left. Like I said, I didn't care at this point. Went with the Jan, and then you can see when I go for the long jump putt, it's really wobbly, and you can see me on the way back, I'm just laughing, because like, I can't be mad anymore. This is just something we have to laugh at. But it wobbled so much, it just sat by the basket, and it was a tap-in bogey again. Then hole 16, I really wanted the ace on this hole. I got the Shane out in the practice round, but the winds were just really playing with me. You can see my jacket just filling up with air because it was blowing so much. And yes, I put on a jacket because it was so cold. So I was standing there contemplating like, can I throw a forehand into this wind? And I think I took a little bit too much time. So I was like, okay, no, screw it. I'll go with the backhand. Then I just threw the backhand really quick. So I don't even think Ville was ready for it on camera. That's why I'm not in frame. But I hit a branch, kicked left, went for the long spin putt with the right to left wind, just let it float to the basket. Faded out a bit early. Missed my comebacker, didn't care. Tapping bogey. But then hole 17, this was the highlight that I was looking for. This was the thing I was waiting for. This is why I was still playing this round. I wanted the ace on hole 17. That was my goal. So I took the Kaxasata, I read the wind, and I released it on the perfect angle and the perfect line. It was heading for the basket, but it was too low. I was so mad. I really wanted the ace there. But I was in C1, but like I said, so unbothered. I missed the putt, missed it high. Don't care, it's a par. Then hole 18, we didn't record anything during the hole, but I played it pretty decently and I had a long throw-in chance for the birdie. And it was framed up pretty well, so I took my batty and I just threw it really hard straight at it. And I just missed it again. It was so close. I had some really close ones when I went for these highlights, but it didn't go in. And it went OB long, didn't care. Made a comebacker, bogey, finished my round plus 22. Sounds horrible, but I didn't care. It was 866 rated, but like I said, PDGA doesn't count these horrible rounds because it's so much worse than you usually do. And I knew this because I've done it twice before, 2 rounds under 900 that didn't count towards my rating. But the problem is, when there's 3, it's not a one-time thing anymore. So in the new update, they counted all 3 rounds where I went under 900 in rating. I went minus 11 in rating. My new rating, 946. And like I said, I don't care about rating, but the problem is I went under 950. So now with these registration stages, I could miss out on some big tournaments because of this. So what we can take from this, what we can learn from this, is that no matter how bad things are, you should always try your best, take one shot at a time, because it could matter later on. But the funny thing about that is I'm already registered to basically all the tournaments I want to play this season. So now I'm really low rated and I'm a real underdog for all these bigger tournaments. So it would be so much more fun to win over these people that are so much higher rated than I am. Because next week I'm playing the Swedish Disc Golf National Tour in Motala and I believe I have a chance to win. But I'm one of the lowest rated players there. So that would be really fun. That's what we can take from this, and prepare better for rounds. Arriving 2 minutes before tee time, that's not good. Don't do that. I need warm-ups, especially putting warm-ups. All in all, this was an amazing couple of days. I had an amazing time, especially with my little brother. We had a great time, ate some really nice food. Just all in all, great couple of days, but my play, not the best. Let's just end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the entire video through, thank you so much. You don't even know how much that helps me. But I hope you like these longer videos. I think there's gonna be a couple more long vlog style videos coming this year. So hopefully you enjoyed them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. Don't forget the bell as always. And I'll see you guys in the next one.